Good morning, dear all. So today we are doing How Soon Had Time by John Milton. John Milton was born in London in the year 1608 and he died in the year 1674. How Soon Had Time is famously called Sonnet 7. Though it was written in the year 1631, it was published in the year 1632. John Milton was born to a Roman Catholic family, but later he became a Protestant. And because he turned a Protestant, he was disowned by his own father. John Milton, most famously, is named the best literary figure after William Shakespeare. John Milton wanted to become a clergyman. He wanted to work for the church. But later he gave up the idea due to the politicization of the church. And therefore he dedicated his life completely to scholarship, which means learning, and literature, which became his first love. He was also known to be a polemist. Milton's major works are Lycidas, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and Samson Agonist. Milton's greatness lie on his epic poem, Paradise Lost, which was published in the year 1667. Going into the poem, How Soon Had Time was composed when Milton was 23 years old. This poem is also called Petrarchan Sonnet. Now let us go into the poem. I'm going to read the first 4 lines of the poem. How soon had time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23 year. My hasting days fly on with full career. My late spring no bird or blossom soweth. How soon had time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23 year. Milton says, how quickly, how soon, even before he could sense it, even before he could realize it, time, like a clever thief, subtle means clever, skillful, cunning, like a clever thief, stole his 23 youthful years. Stolen on his wing like a bird, he stole away. Time, which is personified as thief. Time is given human quality. Time is the thief. And this thief had stolen on his wing like a bird. It carried away 23 years, 3 plus 20, 23 years of his life. Even before he could realize it. My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no bud or blossom soweth. And then he goes on to say, so quickly, time, which is personified as thief, had stolen his 23 youthful years on its wing, like a bird. It has robbed him. It has stolen from him his precious years, youthful years. And then he says, my hasting days fly on with full career. My days are hasting away. My days are speeding away with full career. Now, still, Milton is doubtful about his own achievements. He is dissatisfied with his career. So he says, my hasting days fly on with full career. My days are flying away. My days are speeding away. With full career, I have learned a lot. I have acquired great knowledge. But my late spring no bird or blossom soweth. But my late spring here means extraordinary skill, creative skill is being delayed. But my late spring no bud or blossom soweth. There is no flowering. There is no growth. There is no progress that is happening as far as his literary achievement is concerned, as far as his literary works are concerned. Though he has become popular, but then he has still not been able to write something great. He's still not able to achieve literary success, unlike his contemporaries. So here if you see, Milton doubts himself. You can feel that when he says, my late spring no bud or blossom soweth, he is underconfident. He underestimates himself. he feels that there is no new growth that is happening in his life. Though he has learned a lot, though he has become a scholar, and yet he is dissatisfied with his poetic career, his poetic achievements. Success is not really happening for him. Progress, according to him, according to his personal opinion, he is yet to make progress. He is yet to achieve success, real success, true success. And so he says, "And my late spring, no bird or blossom soweth." What happens when spring comes? You see new buds. You see blossoming of new flowers, colorful, beautiful flowers. What does it mean? What does it signify? That there is rebirth, that there is new growth that is happening. But in case of Milton, spring, whatever skill, the poetic skill that he had, he was a genius. But still, according to him, according to his personal opinion, the literary achievement was not happening. It was being delayed. It was taking time. How soon had time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23rd year? So quickly, time, personified as clever thief, had stolen on his wing, flying away like a bird, taking away from him, robbing him of his 23 youthful years. His days are speeding away. His days are quickly moving, passing, with full career, speeding away. He had great learning, but still, late spring, no bird or blossom soweth. Still, he is not yet achieved what he aspires to achieve. It is being delayed. Perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth, that I to manhood am arrived so near, and inward ripeness do much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits indueth. And then he goes on to say, he is addressing to the readers, he is addressing to the people, and then he says, perhaps my semblance, my appearance, semblance means appearance, might deceive the truth. How I look like, my appearance, my looks, it might mislead you of the truth. It might mislead you of the fact that I to manhood am arrived so near. Now these lines are very important, and I'll tell you why. Milton had a rather youthful, almost feminine appearance. He used to look like quite girlish. Okay, he had that feminine look, especially his face. So he had a rather youthful, almost feminine appearance, which seemed to give no indication to the people of the fact that he had arrived near manhood. That means he says, if you look at my face, if you see me, then I might look like very very young, like a schoolboy, and this truth and this might not truth, and this might mislead you of the truth of the fact that I to manhood am arrived so near, that I have already reached my manhood, that I have become a man, and inward ripeness do much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits endueth. And then he says, my semblance, my appearance might deceive you, might mislead you of the truth, that I have already become a man, I have reached my manhood. And my inward ripeness means my mental maturity, my psychological maturity, that I am very mature in my mind. Inwardly, I am very matured man. But you may not see it. He's telling the people, you may not see my maturity. You may not see my mental, my psychological maturity because of my look, because of my appearance, that I look very youthful, almost feminine. But you do not know, you may not know the truth, that I am a matured man. Mentally and psychologically, I am matured, a matured individual. And inward ripeness do much less appear, that you may not see, my appearance may not give away the kind of maturity that I have inside my mind. For timely, happy spirits endure with. Unlike other poets of his time, when he says timely, happy poets of his time, his contemporaries, who have shown early signs of promise and maturity through their work, through their poetry. So he says, I may not look mature, but inwardly, psychologically, I am a matured man, and my maturity may appear less to you. Unlike those poets of my time, happy poets, who have already become very famous for their works, who have already produced very matured work, some great works, something that he had not yet been able to do. So Milton says, perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth. My appearance might mislead you of the truth, of the fact that I to manhood am arrived so near. You may not know it from my face, but I have become a man. And inward ripeness do much less appear that some more timely happy spin do it. And my inward ripeness, my mental maturity, psychological maturity may appear less in comparison to those poets of his time, of my time, he says. Those poets, my contemporaries, who have shown early signs of promise and maturity through their works, through their poetry. If you connect the two, first 4 lines and these 4 lines, and then you will see that he underestimates himself. He still questions his achievement. He still questions his work, his poetry. And from the next stanza, the tone will completely change. We see here Milton doubtful about his achievements, underconfident, he underestimates himself. But in the next stanza, we'll see the tone completely change. He's no longer doubtful about himself, about his achievements, about his poetic career. In the coming stanza, he comes across as a very confident person. And why he feels so confident, we will know now.